Hello, so my name is Michael Choi. I am going to have this course cover about a very important topic, communication. And I'm going to have this course mainly designed for folks who are working on a technical job. And the topics discussed in this course would be especially relevant if you joined your first company after you graduated. But even if you are working on your second or third company, some of these tips and core values that will be introduced in this course, they're still going to be valuable. So just to emphasize the importance of communication, um, when you are working in a job, the skill sets to be successful at a job require some technical skills, of course, but just being good with technical skills is not enough to get recognized, to have a good team where you feel that you're getting the appreciation that you deserve, as well as the recognition. And recognition is really important. Just having the technical skill sets kind of get you in front of the door. But in order to really be an effective team member, you got to learn how to communicate effectively. So the way that I think about it, and I put this on some of the content below the video, if you, let's say you're a developer, if you're a great developer with a great technical skills, but if you do not have good communication skills, you would be a mediocre employee. If you're a mediocre developer in terms of the technical skills, but you have great communication skills, you would be above average. So the goal that you should strive is being both effective at your job, having the skill sets that you need to be successful at the job, but also having great communication skills. So you can almost think of having great communication skills to be as important as having great technical skills. I would say it's equally important. And of course, depending on the role, depending on the company, depending on the culture of the company, they may put more emphasis on technical skills versus communication skills, hard skills versus soft skills. But I think, if you were to join a new company, you can probably just go in with the assumption that it's going to be half and half. It's going to be equally important. And again, depending on the culture, it may be 60-40 or 70-30. But I bet there is not a single company where communication skills is not important. Because whenever you have an organization, which is no more than a collection of several people who are working toward a common goal, communication is everything. If you think about marketing, marketing is learning how to communicate to your customers. Engineering, I guess you can also say, is communication to the computer in language that computers would understand. So a lot of things in life, especially businesses, really deal with communication between one party to the other party. Now, some of the topics about communications are rarely taught at schools. I, for myself, have not had a coach sit down with me and tell me when I should write an email versus a phone call, or sending a chat message, how I should think about how often to send an email, how often to report back to my supervisor, how I should go about it, what are some bad examples, what are good examples. A lot of these things I've learned myself over the years, as I directly worked in companies, and I also have started multiple companies and directly managed employees, managers. Some of these things I learned, and I hope that through this course, I can pass down these learnings. So in order to get the most out of this course, you should take it slowly. You should read the text, really try to put yourself in these situations that I'm going to present, really think about what you would do, and then I will talk about different scenarios and see what I think are good examples, what I think are bad examples, and so forth. Now, as a disclaimer, also read the full disclaimer below the video. But remember that depending on the company that you work for, the importance of communications may vary. To some companies, it may be extremely important, more important than your technical skill sets. On some companies, it may be 50-50. On some companies, it may be 70-30. So depending on the company that you join, you kind of have to be flexible. You kind of have to keep an eye and ask questions, especially when you first join, to find out what's the culture for this company. What are the modes of communications that are preferred, recommended, because it could be different from one company to another. Although in this course, I'll try to focus on core values that I think are applicable across all stages of the company, across all sorts of different companies, how the core values could, still apply. So the core values, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about that, but you're going to also be given scenarios where you have to think about how you would address that situation. Another disclaimer, as often in life, there is no one right answer in terms of communication. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to introduce some of the core values, and you have to find a way how you can make it your own, because you have your own unique personality that works well for you. And if everyone really acted exactly the same, I think the world would be very boring. And we're not robots. We're, full human beings with emotions, with our own, life stories. So everyone is different. So how you apply the core values, you may have your own unique style. My advice would be open, seek for inspirations. You can seek advice from people who are more experienced and ask for some input. You may be lucky to find some people who are willing to mentor or give you some advice. But just know that there is no one right answer. So if you are struggling on thinking, should I do A or should I do B or should I do C? Well, know that there could be multiple right answers. All of those options may be right and it may fit with your personality. So don't be too stressed thinking that you have to just pick one right way. Okay, that's small thinking. Now, another disclaimer, I am by no means masters in communication. As I mentioned, I learned a lot of these things on my own, and I'm merely trying to present things so that it will help you on your next job. So do not consider that I'm a guru when it comes to communications. I'm not. I'm still spending a lot of time trying to refine my soft skills, my emotional intelligence. So I'm by no means someone that's perfect and that have figured this out. I'm still learning how to do this better. And again, I'm going to pass down some of the insights and wisdom that I gained over the years so that what took me 15 years to learn, for example, it wouldn't take you 15 years, but how you can accelerate that learning so you can start off your career at a better footing than when I started my career years ago. Okay, so with that said, proceed with the next. And after each video, just make sure you read also the text. I've also put the text below the video because first time you may watch the video and I would like you to watch my video if you haven't watched it. But after you watched it, you will remember the concepts. And if you come back, I would like you just to browse through and read the text below so that you can more efficiently find the information and be reminded of some of the key concepts presented in each section. Okay? All right, good to have you. Let's have you proceed with the next one.